بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another session of Quran analysis. And we started doing Surah Al-Hadid a while back before I stopped because I was doing classes. I had classes from another institute, so I had to pause these studies. But Alhamdulillah, that chapter is done, and now we are back to our studies. And inshallah, if all goes well, we won't be stopping anytime soon until we finish this surah. Allahu Ta'ala A'lam. May Allah give us the tawfiq, and may Allah make it easy for all of us and open for us the door of understanding and make us benefit from everything that we study. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is maybe I can open up Quran.com and then we can just take a look at what we've done so far, because it's been a while, like I mentioned. So maybe it would be of benefit for us to just go back and let me reshare my screen. Right. So Surah Al-Hadid, we have done أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح لله ما في السماوات والأرض. Whatever is in the heavens and the earth declared the perfection of Allah. وهو العزيز الحكيم, and He is the Almighty or wise. له ملك السماوات والأرض. The kingdom of the heavens and the earth belongs to Him. يحيي ويميت. He gives life and He gives death. And we looked at how يحيي ويميت, this portion can be the hal, and so it could be the kingdom of the heavens and the earth belong to Him while He gives life and He gives death. وهو على كل شيء قدير, and He is capable over all things. هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن. He is the first, He is the last, He is the apparent, and He is the most hidden. So ظاهر and batin, and we looked at how we explained in details previously what these names of Allah mean in relation to our own creation and how to understand them. وهو بكل شيء عليم, and He is over all things knowledgeable. هو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش. He is the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. ثم استوى على العرش. Then He established Himself over the throne, and we discussed in details what what it means that Allah created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. What does 6 days here mean? What is a day in the eyes of Allah? We talked about all these details, and we also discussed about istiwa. What does Allah mean when He says He establishes Himself on the throne? And we do not ask how does Allah do this? We do not ask. It's beyond our imagination. We say in a way that befits His majesty and His jalal, His grandeur, His majesty. We don't know how. We just know that He does it. You know how He does it? It's not in our capability to even know or to even ask. It's not in our responsibility to ask. It's not upon us to ask how He does it. Okay, so we discussed about istiwa. يعلم ما يلج في الأرض وما يخرج منها. He knows what squeezes from the earth and what comes down to the earth and what comes out of it. وما ينزل من السماء, and what descends from the heavens, and وما يعرج فيها, and what inclines towards the sky. So the trees, the buildings, everything is like pointing upwards to the sky, and everything that goes up to the sky, يعلم, He knows. وهو معكم أينما كنتم, and He is with you wherever you are. And Allah, we discuss here how Allah is close to us. Allah is not saying that because He has done istiwa and because He knows everything and because the kingdom of the heavens and the earth belongs to Him and because He is Al-Aziz Al-Hakim, He's the mighty, He's the wise, then He's too big for us, like He doesn't care about us. No, وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ, He is with you wherever you are. He is there for you. I mean, despite the fact that He is Allah, He is mighty, He is powerful, He is Azim, He is Kabir, you know, He's the greatest, He's the highest, and all this grandeur and majesty that He has, He cares about us and He is with us. Wallahu bima ta'maluna basir, and Allah sees everything. Allah, everything that you do, He sees. له ملك السماوات والأرض. Again, the kingdom of the heavens and the earth belong to Him. He's stressing this point further. وَإِلَى اللَّهِ تُرْجَعُ الْأُمُورِ. And in the end, everything goes back to Him. Just as we had stated before, He's al-awwal, wal-akhir, wal-zahir, wal-batin. He's the beginning and He's the end. Everything will return to Him. At the end of it all, when the Yawm al-Qiyamah comes and everything dies, then everything goes back to Him. وإلى الله ترجع الأمور. يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل. And again, Allah talks about His majesty, His power, His capability. And He says He's the one who squeezes the night into the day, and He squeezes the day into the night. And we talked about in detail about this. I don't know if we've covered this part yet. Probably we haven't. I think we haven't discussed this part in our explanation. But inshallah, next Sunday, we'll talk about this again in detail, the aspect of time and how the importance of time in our lives and just connecting it all. وَهُوَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. And He knows exactly what is in the chests. He knows your emotions. He knows your iman. He knows whatever you're hiding in your heart. He knows it all. He knows it better than you know yourself. Sometimes you don't even have the words to express it, but Allah knows. وَهُوَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. So today the ayat that we're going to look at in terms of Nahw and Sarf is آمنوا بالله ورسوله وأنفقوا مما جعلكم مستخلفين فيه. Believe in Allah and His Messenger and spend from what He has made you successors of. فالذين آمنوا منكم, the ones who believe amongst you, وأنفقوا, and spent, لهم أجر كبير, they will have a great reward. وما لكم لا تؤمنون بالله والرسول يدعوكم لتؤمنوا بربكم. And what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you that you do not believe in Allah and while His Messenger is calling you, is inviting you to believe? And this lamb, we will discuss about this lamb. It has several meanings. It could be so that, or it could be for the purpose of, right? For the purpose of your iman. بربكم, to believe in Allah. وقد أخذ ميثاقكم. And you had already pledged allegiance with Allah. You already took the covenant with Allah. إن كنتم مؤمنين, if you're truly believers. هو الذي ينزل على عبده آيات بينات. He is the one who sends upon His servant clear signs. ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور, so that He takes you out from the dhulumat, from the darknesses, again plural here, which is very important, إلى النور, to light, which is singular. وإن الله بكم لرؤوف رحيم. And Allah, especially with you, because here bikum is muqaddam, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. So إن الله بكم لرؤوف رحيم. He is Ra'uf and Rahim. And again, we will discuss the difference between Ra'uf and Rahim, because in English, if you read the translation, for example, if we just to view the translation of this part, you would see what I'm talking about. So He says, for indeed Allah is ever gracious, most merciful. And indeed Allah to you is kind and merciful. God is truly kind and merciful. So it kind of has the same meaning, Ra'fa and Rahma. It doesn't really, the meaning doesn't come up properly, but Ra'fa and Rahma are different degrees of mercy and delicacy and love and care. And we'll talk about that, inshallah, in our next discussion when we're explaining this ayah. Okay, so I don't know if there's anybody willing to participate here with me. For those of you who are familiar with the classes, anybody wants to try, or has it been so long you guys are a bit rusted? What's going on? I don't know. So you have to let me know. I can do it by myself, no problem. But if you're willing to try, please let me know. You can unmute yourself or raise your hand, and then we can proceed, inshallah. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no problem. Let's we will revise together. All right, so we're looking at ayah number, let's see here. Okay, no worries, Zainab. Just hopefully you can benefit one or two things from today's class, and then you can just focus on the explanation. Moving on, no worries. Okay, so we begin by saying aminu. I need to be able to type here. Okay, so what is aminu? Aminu is fi'al amr. Allah is commanding the believers believe. And we will also see the implications of this. Why are the believers being told to believe? And they believers already. You cannot be called a believer if you haven't believed, right? So aminu fi'al amr, and the fa'il is the wawul jama'a. I'm just going to simplify this because of space. I'm not going to write the whole i'rab. So aminu fi'al amr wal fa'il damir muttasil waw. So this waw here would be the fa'il. Okay? And then you have billahi. This is jar majroor muta'alliq. Muta'alliqani. I'm going to type muta'alliqani. بآمنوا, of course. So ba harf jar, lafdul jalala, ism majroor, and then together they are متعلقان to آمنوا. Wow harf ataf. So I'm going to say ataf and ma'tuf. Yeah. So wow harf ataf. And rasulihi ism ma'tuf. And rasul again is a mudaf. And then the attached pronoun here is mudaf ilayhi. Okay. Then you have wow. Wow again is harf ataf. And then you have anfiqu, which is another fi'al amr. Okay. So anfiqu is going to be happening. Another fi'al amr here. And it is ma'tuf to aminu here. Okay. So again, an important thing to note here. So aminu billahi wa rasulihi. Allah did not just say aminu wa anfiqu. So that means that this portion here, billahi wa rasulihi, is an important addition into this ayah. Allah did not just limit it to believe and spend. No, believe in Allah, and not just in Allah and His messenger. So there's some nuances there that we would take a look at next time. And that's why it's important to look at the grammar, because it gives you extra things that you didn't, extra points of view that you didn't have in the beginning. Okay? So anfiqu fi'al amr, and of course again wow here is the fa'il, just like aminu. Then you have mimma. So what is mimma? Mimma is of course made up of min harf jar and ma ism mawsul. So this is therefore min is harf jar, ma ism majroor, and together they are muta'alliqani. بماذا؟ بأنفقوا. So this mimma goes back to أنفقوا. Spend from what? Spend from this. Okay, so that mimma goes back to أنفقوا. What are you spending from? That's how it's related. Okay, and of course this ma is in mawsul. So the kind of ma here is in mawsul, which means alladhi. Spend from that which Allah has made you successors of. Okay, any questions so far? I know it's been a while, maybe we're a bit rusty, forgotten some concepts, but it's okay. You please don't hesitate to ask any questions as we move on. Right, جعل. What is جعل? فعل ماضي, of course. And the fa'il is the inside pronoun huwa. So huwa ja'ala, huma ja'alahum, ja'alu. Like remember that chart we did so long ago? So huwa ja'ala. Yani going back to Allah. He is the one who made you. And of course that means the kaf here, the kum, is, should write like this. The kum here is going to be maf'ul bihi. All right. So ja'ala kum, he made you. Where is successor mentioned? Successor is mentioned mustakhlafina. We are here where the successor is mentioned. We've arrived. We've reached the point. So ja'alakum mustakhlafina. Mustakhlafina, and we will do the sarf of it. It comes from istaghfara family. Family number 10. Istaf'ala. استخلف يستخلف استخلاف فهو مستخلف. so مستخلف مستخلفان مستخلفين مستخلفين مستخلفون مستخلفين. so مستخلف, yeah, this is where it comes from, right? مستخلفين. And what does it mean, استخلف? And again, we will look at the meanings, but just to give you an understanding, because somebody asked, استخلف has to do with leaving behind. Okay, leaving something behind, or something coming up anew. That is خلف. Okay, so if, يعني, for example, you leave granddaughters and grandsons, you will say خلفت. يعني, I left behind this grandsons and this many grandsons and granddaughters. All right, so خلف. And from that same word we get khalifa. وجعلناكم خلفاء. We made you the khalifas, we made you the successors. And I know probably because I'm using the word successors, you're imagining success and you're starting to think maybe I'm talking about winning, or that's not what it means here. It means like people who are left behind to be in charge of something, people given responsibility, people who are left behind to take care. So we were put here on this earth, left behind by Allah to take care, to be in charge of. That is the whole point of Khalifa, right? And once we die, we leave behind who? We leave behind the next generation that are going to be also Khalifas. And the next generation will leave another generation after them. And we keep on living generations after us to take care of this earth. That is what mustakhlafina means, okay? And here we look, the word ja'ala is a fi'l, madi. Hum, here, the kaf, is maf'ul bihi, number 1, okay? Because remember, ja'ala, it's one of those verbs that take on 2 maf'ul bihis. I made you into what? So you see, it has 2 questions, who and what. And we know that maf'ul bihi, we ask with these two questions. If we want to know what a maf'ul bihi is, we ask the question who or what. So I made you, you're the who. I made you into what? Into mustakhlafin, into successors. Right? So mustakhlafina here, in that sense, it means this is maf'ul bihi. I'm gonna shorten that, maf'ul bihi number 2, because of space. In fact, I could also shorten this one because of space. So this is maf'ul bihi number 2. And of course, you can see that this is jam'u mudhakkar salim. This is plural, the masculine plural. Ina ending, right? Okay. Any questions, guys? Are we good? Then you have mustakhlafina fihi. Fi harf jar. The ha is isim majroor, the pronoun attached to it, and together they are muta'alliqani to what? To mustakhlafina. They are connected to mustakhlafina fihi. Okay? So that's how the grammar is so far. Okay. So that kind of like ends the sentence there. Okay, so this fa, when you have a fa in the beginning of a sentence, is the fa that we call isti'naf. And fa isti'naf, no, not that, isti'naf. Fa isti'nafiyya is basically the fa that begins a new sentence. And in Arabic, we have things like that. Yeah, so it doesn't really have a meaning. It just indicates to you that a new sentence is beginning. So فَالَّذِينَ, okay, and alladina, what is alladina? Alladina is isim mawsul, all right? And this isim mawsul here, what role is it playing in the sentence? What is the first thing when you see in a jumla ismiya? Is a mubtada. So we're going to say this alladina here is our mubtada, okay? And again, I'm just going to remove the isim mawsul because of space, but you understand that it is there. And of course, amanu, if alladina is isim mawsul, what comes after isim mawsul? Silatul mawsul. So the silatul mawsul is amanu here, And of course, what do we say about صلة الموصول? لا محل لها من الإعراب. It has no place in terms of grammatical analysis, right? But when you enter into the صلة الموصول, you will find that it's a جملة فعلية. آمنوا is a فعل ماضي, right? So آمنوا is a ماضي, and the فاعل is the واو, okay? So this واو is the فاعل. آمنوا منكم, okay? منكم here again, من حرف جار, هم is اسم مجرور, the attached pronoun, and together they actually, in this case, it's a حال. Remember we said when you have, and it's a حال of this واو. It's a حال of this واو. So remember when we discussed about حال and we said a حال could be one word, for example, جاء الرجل باكيا. The man came crying. باكيا would be a حال. It's one word, اسم مفرد, right? Or it could be a جملة اسمية. جاء الرجل وهو يبكي. جملة اسمية وهو يبكي. Or it could be a جملة فعلية. جاء الرجل يبكي. The man came crying. Or it could be اسم مجرور. It could be جار مجرور. I don't know how. جاء الرجل من أقصى المدينة, from the Quran. The man came from the farthest point of the land, right? Or I can't remember another example. But so آمنوا منكم, there's all of you, but how are these believers among you? These are the believers among you, not all of you, but just the believers. الذين آمنوا منكم. So that's how we understand that منكم here is a hal of the waw in آمنوا. Is that clear? Before we move on, because I know that might be a slightly difficult concept. Okay. If you don't ask me questions, I move on, because I assume that it is clear and you've understood. All right. Wow, حرف عطف. Of course, it's a connecting word. So that would be حرف عطف. And of course, that means أنفقوا is معطوف. Now, معطوف to what? Remember when we were talking about connectors and حروف عطف, we talked about nouns being connected to nouns and fi'ls being connected to fi'ls. For example, you cannot say, I ate and a banana. No, an apple and a banana. I ate, then I slept. That makes sense. So a verb with a verb, a noun with a noun, right? So obviously we look at the other verb here is آمنوا. So that makes sense that this أنفقوا is connected to آمنوا, right? So that is معطوف to آمنوا. So this is اسم معطوف. معطوف to آمنوا. And of course, it's a فعل ماضي, just like آمنوا. And the فاعل is واو الجماعة, just like آمنوا. All right? And if I'm moving too fast, by the way, guys, let me know so that I can slow it down. If you're lost, feel free. I don't want to, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for all of us so that we can move together and refresh some of this concept. وأنفقوا لهم أجر كبير. Okay? أنفقوا لهم أجر كبير. So this لهم, لا حرف جار, هم اسم مجرور. Okay? Together متعلقان. But we don't know what it is متعلق to because it comes in the beginning of a sentence, right? So we have to look at what comes after it to be able to know. So this right here is one whole sentence. Okay? So we have to look at that sentence first before we connect it to what came before. So لهم would be متعلقان. But to what? You look at what comes after it is أجر. Yeah? Is أجر. Remember when we discussed about how a mubtada can come after and it's going to be nakira? The idea that, what is it called? The norm is that a mubtada is ma'rifa. Then the mubtada has al on it. It has to be al-ajru kabir, right? But if it comes after a jar majroor, then it becomes nakira. For example, li qalamun, I have a pen. Okay. Fil bayti rajulun, in the house there is a man, or there's a man in the house. Okay. So in the same concept here, ajrun would be our mubtada and kabirun would be our khabar. Therefore, lahum would be muta'alliq to khabar. Okay, so this is muta'alliqani. And of course, ajrun, let me space this up. I'm going to delete this. Mubtada. And then kabir will be the khabar. Any questions so far? Are we good? Okay. Yes.
Okay. Ilham, this, okay, but it's linked together, yeah? Ajrun
Yes.
Kabir.
Oh yeah, I
It's
didn't.
yeah, like a great reward.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Did I
Yes.
say? Yeah. مبتدا خبر. أجر كبير صور صفة. Sorry. صفة. You're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So أجر كبير. Yes. Great reward. موصوف صفة. مبتدا. The خبر would be hidden or محذوف. But you some grammarians would say that this لهم is actually the خبر. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that. أجر كبير. موصوف صفة. Okay. I'm glad that you guys are with me and I'm not talking to myself. Alhamdulillah. And then you have another wow. This wow, again, you look at, is there any connection to this and the previous sentence? It feels like this is starting a new sentence. It's starting a new sort of idea. And because it's starting a new idea, then we're going to call this wow isti'naf. Wow that begins a new sentence. Just like fa isti'nafiyya, we have wow isti'nafiyya. Right? No, not white. Right. Okay. وَمَا لَكُمْ. So here, obviously, we know that there's so many different kinds of ma. And whenever we encounter a ma, most of the time it's going to be isim mawsul. But sometimes, I mean, you will encounter different kinds of ma. So you have to ask yourself, what kind of a ma is it? If you understand the meaning, you will easily understand what kind of a ma it is. So ma lakum sounds like a question, right? Lakum, what is it with you? So because it sounds like a question and it is a question, therefore this ma would be ma istifham أو ما استفهامية. Yeah. Now, how do we understand لكم? Of course, لكم لام حرف جار, كم اسم مجرور. All right? So this is متعلقان. And together, actually, no, this is not متعلق. This is, I think it's a حال. Let me just confirm that real quickly. Because I have a feeling it's a حال. Oh, no, okay. Okay, no, it's the, all right. Yeah, so this would be ma istifhamiyya, and of course ma istifhamiyya is an ism, and therefore that makes it mubtada. Right? And because it's a mubtada, we ask ourselves, what is the khabar? And we see that there's a jar majroor, so this is our muta'alliqani, to the khabar that is mahdhuf. So ma mubtada, this is muta'alliqani, to the khabar that is mahdhuf. And then you have, after this, you have a sentence. لا تؤمنون بالله. How do we understand the sentence? I think let me explain in English first before I explain in Arabic. So how you understand the sentence is, for example, if I say, what is with you? What is with you? How do you not believe? It's too big. How do you not? listen. Okay, even that one is big. But anyway, you understand what I'm trying to say. What is with you? How do you not believe? Like, what is wrong with you? Why do you not listen? What is wrong with? So when I ask this question, how? What do you think would be the grammatical labeling of something like that? What is the grammatical labeling of how? What does it answer? No, I'm asking. I need somebody to answer. Yes, that is a hal. So the question that comes after this whole sentence here will act as a hal of antum inside lakum. So this is a hal describing you, the condition that you guys are in. How is it, ma lakum, what is wrong with you? How is it that you are in a state of disbelief? Like, it's a rhetorical question. Like, that's the kind of meaning. So it is describing the condition of the people, the state of the people, the hal of the people. So this whole sentence here, لا تؤمنون بالله, would be في محل نسب حال of course, the pronoun inside لكم أنتم, right? And so obviously, inside that, تؤمنون would be a فعل مضارع. مضارع. And the فاعل would be the واو أنتم. So the فاعل is أنتم. ما لكم لا تؤمنون بالله. با حرف جار. لفظ الجلالة اسم مجرور. And together they are متعلق to تؤمنون. Believe in Allah. So I'm going to say متعلقان here. And together this is حال. All right? Then you have والرسول. Now again, when we see a wow, we have to understand what kind of a wow is it? Is it wow حرف عطف? Is it wow حالية? Is it wow القسم? Is it wow? What kind of a wow is it? Okay. So when you look at this wow and then followed by an ism, this is starting to look like a wow حالية, the beginning of a new جملة اسمية. So this is wow حالية, right? So that means the sentence after it is going to be a hal. So what is, Allah is asking a question here. What is wrong with you that you don't believe in Allah and the messenger is the one calling you to believe? Like, it's such a preposterous thing that you don't believe, and the person who is actually calling you is the Prophet ﷺ. You couldn't get better than this. Subhanallah. Like, when you understand the grammar, it's not just why do you not believe and the Prophet is calling you. It's not and the Prophet is calling you. It's while the Prophet ﷺ is the one calling you. You understand the difference between now ahaliya and harf ataf? It adds something extra. So, and then of course, al-rasulu here would be mubtada, because it's the first rafa of a sentence. And of course, this sentence that comes after it is going to be al-khabar. And inside that khabar is a jumla fi'aliyya, يدعوكم. فعل مضارع يدعو مضارع. And the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو يدعو, and he is calling who? He's calling أنتم, hum. So the أنتم here, the kum, would be مفعول به. So we have the فعل is يدعو, the فاعل is هو. I'm just going to summarize it so that we can save on space. And the مفعول به is أنتم, يعني kum. This kum part refers to you all. Okay. لتؤمنوا. Lam here, لام التعليل. Some say it's لام التعليل or it's لام الغاية. What's the difference between لام التعليل and لام الغاية? Of course, it's حرف جر. Sorry, it's حرف ناصب. What do we mean by حرف ناصب? Remember, we memorized أن لن لكي إذا حتى. أن لن لكي, so that. Lam of so that, lam likay, right? So this is lam likay, and it means so that. That would be للتعليل. That would be giving a reason. So that you believe. He is calling you so that you believe. If you understand it as lam ta'lil. But if we understand it as lam lilghaya, ghaya means a goal, means a purpose, means the end intent, if you will. Okay? So when we say lam al-ghaya, we mean that the goal of this calling you is your belief. That the Prophet ﷺ is the one who is calling you for the purpose, not for the purpose, but for the goal of your belief. Yani the end goal is so that you have iman. That's the end goal. The whole point of the Prophet ﷺ calling you is for the end goal of your belief. So it kind of gives it two different kinds of understanding. So that you believe, and the goal of him doing it is your belief, your iman. That he cares so much about you, that is his main goal. It's not even about him going to Jannah and getting Maqam Mahmud. That's not, the goal is you, not him. Do you understand that? Like how beautiful that is. And all those, we get two meanings from just this lamb, just this tiny little lamb here. Isn't that beautiful? Like the Arabic language. Amazing. So we can say so that, or we can say for the goal of, right? Of your belief. لِتُؤْمِنُوا. But when we come to the grammar, and again, we'll expand on this when we talk about the explanation, inshallah. Lam, harf jar. Sorry, I keep saying harf jar. Harf nasib. Let me just write it so that I don't forget it. So harf nasib, although some grammarians would say that this lam actually does not make it nasib, that this lam is actually lam harf jar, and probably that's why I keep saying it. And then there's like an that is hidden here. So you can look at it grammatically, you can look at it like that. لِأَن تُؤْمِنُوا. And we know an makes mudara mansub. So it was tu'minuna. But because an came before it, it became tu'minu. So the noon went away. So some grammarian will say that there's a hidden an in between here, and this an is the one that actually makes it mansub, and li is harf jar. So you can look at it this way, or you can just look at it simply as the lam here is nasib, like we learned in bayina. No need to complicate things. You can just you can look at it as lam likay. All right. And of course, tu'minu would be mudara' mansub. Okay. And because the noon went away, so بحذف حرف النون, بحذف النون, basically. But you don't need to know all that. Anyway, so this is مضارع. The fa'il is أنتم. أنتم تؤمنون. I'm just going to put أنتم there. And then we have بربكم. B, again, حرف جار. رب, اسم مجرور. And then رب is a مضاف. kum, the attached pronoun, is مضاف إليه. So we have that kind of like a chain إضافة. حرف جار, اسم مجرور, and then مضاف إليه happening there. So I'm just going to call it متعلق, because to make it simple and to make us, not to complicate matters so much. So متعلقان بتؤمنوا. But this one goes back to, again, تؤمنوا. Any questions so far? Are we good? I hope I haven't left anyone behind, those who are familiar with grammar. All right. Then you have waqad. Waw, harf, you can look at it, waw, when it comes with qad, they will call it waw haliya. So we know that this jumla is going to be jumla haliya. So this أخذ ميثاقكم is going to be في محل نسب حال, because there's waqad in the beginning. So this waw, they will say that this waw is haliya. And of course, qad, we've done it so many times before, even though we took a break. But I think you'll probably remember, qad, we call it harfu tahqiq when it comes with fi'al madi. It means it adds emphasis. It makes like, it's the harf of assuring something happened, that it certainly happened. وَقَدْ أَخَذَ, it already happened. That's normally how we translate it. قَدْ أَخَذَ, he already took a covenant with you, right? So I'm just going to type حرف تحقيق there. أخذ فعل ماضي, and the فاعل is the inside pronoun هو. أخذ ماذا? What did he take? What answers the question what? مفعول به. So we're going to say this is مفعول به. ميثاق مفعول به. ميثاق is also a مضاف. So there's an إضافة here. So ميثاق مضاف. كم attached pronoun مضاف إليه. All right? And you can look at it as the whole of it as the مفعول به. Although that is a very simplified version of understanding the i'rab. Okay? But if it makes your life easier, then yeah, sure. وَقَدْ أَخَذَ مِيثَاقَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Now here there's something like maybe I will take some time to explain. In, again, there's several kinds of in. So when we encounter in, we have to ask ourselves what kind of an in is it? So in this case, إِن كُنْتُمْ مُؤْمِنِينَ, here, in is in شرطية. It's a conditional in. Means it's a conditional sentence. All right? So in شرطية, okay, fine. كنتم would be the فعل شرط. And كان يكون كون. We learned about كان and her sisters. So كان is what? Is فعل ناقص. We know we treat it as a مبتدا خبر. But so we normally just say فعل ناقص in the إعراب of it. Is كم مضاف إليه most of the time? Yes. If it's attached to an ism, it's going to be مضاف إليه. It's going to, yeah. So when you have a pronoun attached to an ism, then you have إضافة. If you have a pronoun attached to a fi'l, then you have مفعول به always. So that's something you need to remember. So for example, يدعوكم. You have kum here, but here kum, because it's attached to a fi'l, then it's مفعول به. But here ميثاقكم is attached to an ism, therefore it's مضاف إليه. Something very important to remember. And not just kum, like all pronouns, that's how they work. So if it was يدعونا, if it was us and not kum, if it was يدعونا نحن, then the na would be مفعول به, because he's calling who? He's calling us. Or يدعوك أنت, he's calling who? He's calling you. So you'll be the مفعول به. But ميثاق كم ميثاق نا ميثاق ك your. So that would be the مفعول مضاف إليه. All right. So كنتم كان and its ism here together. We normally just say مبتدا, and now that I am a little bit more learned, I learned that that's not how you actually do the i'rab. You actually have to say فعل ناقص, which is something that we learned actually. So كان and its ism will be the فعل ناقص, and the tum would be the ism كان, and you can look at it as together as a مبتدا. All right, you can look at it as that, as a مبتدا, no problem. But I'm just going to type فعل ناقص to make myself feel better, because I'm slightly more knowledgeable now. Alhamdulillah. مؤمنين. مؤمنين. We know كان and her sisters, they have a khabar, because we treat it as jumla ismiya, so kind of mubtada khabar situation. But how is the khabar of Kana and her sisters? Somebody tell me, how is the khabar? How does the khabar look like? Shabana, have any ideas? The khabar of Kana?
How does it look like?
Or like, what is the khabar of Kana? Like, what is the status? Because khabar is always rafa, right?
Yeah.
But
Oh,
what
so
about
it's nasab.
nasab?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the khabar of kana is always nasab. Unlike the normal khabar, which is always rafa, when you have kana, it's going to be nasab. And that's why here you have mu'mineen, not mu'minun. Mu'minun would be the rafa, right? So why is it mu'mineen? Because it's nasab, because it's the khabar of kana. So this is khabar. Of course. Oh, okay. Any questions? All right. Now I said this in is shartiya, which means it's a conditional sentence. If you are believers, then something. That's how we understand conditional sentence. If you come, I will go with you. Then I will go with you. So if this, then that. That's a conditional sentence. But here you just have if you are believers, then what? So here the grammarians would say that the jawab shart. So this is the fi'al shart. Here this is the shart part, the condition part. And the jawab shart is mahdhuf. It is hidden. It is not mentioned. If you are indeed believers, then you would believe in Allah and His Messenger. Then you would not, basically we understand the meaning from based on what was said before. So ما لكم لا تؤمنون بالله إن كنتم مؤمنين. If you're truly believers, why don't you believe? So what has been said before is indicating to us the jawab. And therefore, if it was said, it would be like a form of like a repetition. Then it becomes redundant. And we know the Quran is not redundant. The Quran is perfect. It's a beautiful speech. So it doesn't repeat itself in a way that it becomes redundant. You know what I'm saying? Like if it repeats itself, it's for a purpose. Yeah, because it's only 600 pages. Like you have limited real estate space for the Quran. You cannot have extra words that just don't mean nothing, or just for the sake of adding words. Every word in the Quran is specifically added for a specific purpose. So in kuntum mu'minin, because the reason has already been mentioned before, like why you're not believers. If you're truly believers, you would be believing. That's the idea, right? You'll be doing this thing. That's how we understand that. Okay. I don't know if we're going to be able to finish this. Maybe we'll just finish the grammar, and then the sarf we'll do next time, inshallah. Let's just finish the nahw bit of it. Yeah. Huwa. Huwa is the first rafa in a sentence. So this is our mubtada, right? And of course, whatever comes after it, it's going to be our khabar. But inside that khabar is a jumla starting with an isim mawsul. All right. So alladhi is our isim mawsul. And together it will be the khabar of huwa. Okay. So this is isim mawsul. Okay, we can just say khabar. Let's just call it khabar directly. And then you have yunazzilu. So this is the silatul mawsul part. لا محل لها من الإعراب, but when you look at it inside that silatul mawsul, you have a jumla ismiya, a jumla fi'liya. So yunazzilu is a fi'l mudari', and the fa'il is the inside pronoun huwa. So huwa yunazzilu, he is the one who sends down, right? ينزل على حرف جار عبدي اسم مجرور عبد مضاف he مضاف إليه. So you can see, you can look at this as حرف جار اسم مجرور, again عبد is مضاف, and then the pronoun he مضاف إليه. Zainab, I hope you can see now how the pronoun, the attached pronoun to an ism is always going to be مضاف إليه. So this is another example, right? عبده. So على عبده, this is going to be متعلقان. B ينزل. So this one, this together, go back to ينزل. He's the one who sends down على عبده, to his servant. Again, ينزل, we will talk about this when we talk about the explanation. It's not أنزل, it's not نزل, it's نزل. ينزل. So it has to do with progression, bit by bit, step by step, over a period of time, you know, gradually, subhanallah, and continuously, because it's a mudara'. Again, beautiful, beautiful meanings that we're going to derive from this grammar. But I'm just mentioning it so that it's in your mind. Like, oh, it has been mentioned in the mudara', it has been mentioned in this family pattern, not nazala, not anzala, but nazzala. So what should I be thinking when I hear the word nazzala? You know, and then of course abd. What are the implications of using the word abd? And also in singular, not yunazzilu alaykum, yunazzilu alayhi. Allah could have said this in so many different ways. he sends upon him, the messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam, or he sends upon you all, alaykum. Allah says, ala abdihi, yani singular, each one of his servants. Like, it's so special, like every one of you, every one of us, singular. Like, it's such a special moment. Allah is capturing this. على عبده آيات بينات. Again, نزل is متعدي. What does that mean? It means it takes on مفعول به. What does that mean? It means that it does an action to something. So we can ask, like, he's the one who sends to his servant. What does he send? Ayat. So this is our maf'ul bihi, right? And why is it ayatin? Because maf'ul bihi is always nasab, right? But because it's female plural, so mu'minatin, mu'minatin, mu'minatun, mu'minatin, mu'minatin. Remember the mu'minun chat? So the nasab version of ayatun is ayatin. So this is maf'ul bihi. Okay? And of course, bayinatin is a sifa. You can see it matches 4 properties. So it's singular, it's plural, plural, it's common, common, it's mu'annath, mu'annath, feminine, feminine. So it matches in all the 4 properties. And of course, it's nasab and it's nasab, both of them. Okay, so that is a sifa to ayat. Clear signs. Okay, again, this lam, we talked a little bit about this lam. Lam likay, lam of so that. So ليخرجكم لام التعليل. And we said, of course, there's like some grammarians would put an here. They would say that there's an an that actually makes it nasab, that it's not the lam that makes it nasab. You can understand it that way if it makes it easier for you to understand why it's yukhrija and not yukhriju. It's supposed to be yukhriju, but because of this lam, then we have yukhrija. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me clearly because it's telling me my connection is not good. Just gonna close some browsers here. Hopefully that works. Okay, ليخرجكم. So we said لام التعليل. يخرج فعل مضارع منصوب. So this is مضارع. And the فاعل is هو. And the مفعول به, this kum. Again, Zainab, you see, you have a فعل and then the attached pronoun, the kum is the مفعول به. Right? And then you have من الظلمات. من الظلمات. من حرف جار. الظلمات اسم مجرور. And together they're متعلقان. متعلقان to يخرجكم. He's the one who removes you from where? From the house? From the wombs of your mothers? No, من الظلمات, from darknesses. So Allah is being specific. It's not just He removes you from wherever. No, specifically from darknesses to light. So this is متعلقان. And again, we'll talk about الظلمات. It's not just one darkness. It's ظلمات, plural, right? What's the implication of that? You can start thinking about that, and hopefully you can add to my points the next time we discuss about this. إلى النور. إلى حرف جار. Again, النوري اسم مجرور. So that's another متعلقان. Okay, so this is too much space. I'm just gonna. There we go. Again, if there's any questions, guys, don't hesitate. We're just going to finish this last line of this ayah and we will stop there, inshallah. All right. وَإِنَّ, wow, isti'naf. You can look at it as wow, atuf, maybe you can look at it as connecting this part to this part. So you can look at it as wow, harf atuf, or wow, isti'naf. You can also look at it as wow, haliya, but I would refrain from looking at it as wow, haliya here. maybe. But let's just say واو استئناف. Okay. And then you have إن. What is إن? إن makes the مبتدأ منسوب. So إن and its اسم. So إن would be حرف عين. Yes. Go on.
Internet is gone bad.
Can you hear me? Guys, can you hear me? Not so sure. Are you guys able to hear me? Let me type it in the chat.
No, my dear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems, I don't know what the issue is. Can you hear me now?
No.
Oh. Okay. So there must be some, I don't know. Is it breaking or can you not hear me at all?
No. No. Still working. No, I can't hear you at all.
Okay. Okay, so I think we can end there because I'm having either internet problems or my microphone is not working. So I'm just
I
gonna
think
stop
now
there and
it's
inshallah. Now you can hear me?
okay.
Okay, I have to figure out what's wrong with the microphone and then we can pick it up next time. We can just stop there, no worries. Because we are already at time, inshallah. So سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'll see you guys next time, inshallah.
إن شاء الله. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.